Hey everybody, you're watching a physio named Jonah. That's this guy. Recently I was writing a video on my 5 favorite and least favorite things about physiotherapy and Siamese cats. I wanted to do one of my least favorite points that really stuck out to me as its own video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about access to physiotherapy. What does physiotherapy access mean? Why is it important? And does everyone have it? Without further ado, let's dive in. Do you think that was good? That sounded like no. I'm going to be defining access to physiotherapy based on statements from the CPA and OPA, which are the associations that represent physiotherapy in the country, Canada, that I live in, and the province, Ontario, that I practice in. I'll be sprinkling in some screenshots throughout, and I'll link anything that I use down in the descriptions below. Access to physiotherapy services depends on being able to afford or the availability of publicly funded programs where you live and whether there are enough physiotherapists to provide care. Simplifying this statement down then, access to physiotherapy care means that the physio care itself is available and it is affordable for patients. It's there for you to use and you can afford it. Those are the two main, very key components of access to physiotherapy. Money is a really important part of accessibility then, as somebody has to pay for the physiotherapy care. There's actually a great line in one of the documents, and it says, access to healthcare must reflect equity, allowing each individual to reach their full potential, no matter where they live, who they are, or what they have. People have access to physio care no matter who they are, where they live, or what they have. This means that you should be able to have a clinic available to you, you should be able to get to that clinic, and you should be able to pay for the services or have them paid for you. This is a large ask for sure, but I think it shows a great vision of what access to physiotherapy care means. Everybody should have access to seeing a physiotherapist to help them achieve their best possible health. So... okay, obviously I am biased to believe that everyone should have access to physiotherapy care, seeing as I'm a physiotherapist. To make sure that this take doesn't come across like a baker saying everybody should have their bread because it's the best, I'm going to try and back it up with evidence where I can. Try and use factual statements and look at it objectively to make the inherent bias as little reflected as possible. Man, I could go for some fresh bread now. I should not have used that expression. Couple quick facts about access to physiotherapy based on the OPA statement. Access to physio has been shown to improve health outcomes overall. Therapies like physio can help avoid increased medication prescription like opioids. Early access to physio can help reduce referrals for imaging, and timely access to physio can help reduce visits to the emergency room and reduce emergency room wait times. Now, obviously the association wants to highlight the benefits of physiotherapy, seen as they represent the profession. These aren't wild or baseless claims though. These are evidence-based outcomes that have been measured and shown to be accurate. Adding my own personal 2 cents in here, physiotherapists are specialists in movement, which is a huge part of day-to-day life. How we move impacts our ability to work, our ability to engage in our activities, and just our overall pain and quality of life. In my young career so far, which is only 2 years, I've already been able to be a part of some really special recoveries I've seen people go through that got them back to work, back to their life, or just helped them reduce their pain that made their overall day-to-day life and quality of life a fair bit better. Narratively and factually then, being able to see a physiotherapist can be a huge part of helping someone get better. This means that access to these services is a big deal, which then begs the question, we're out of bread. We've talked so far today about what access to physiotherapy is, why it's important, and here's where we bring today's topic home. Not everyone has access to physiotherapy care. In fact, a lot of people don't have access to physio. Many remote areas have very limited access to physiotherapy care because of a limited clinic representation there, if they even have any. Then, on top of that, getting to the clinics can be an issue because public transportation may not be very well defined there. There are options for in-home physiotherapists that can come to you, but this brings up the point which is the biggest issue for access to physiotherapy in my opinion. Money. Without getting too much into the nitty-gritty of all the details of funding for physiotherapy, physiotherapy services can be expensive and they often are not covered for people outside of acute care hospital settings. This means that to get access to physiotherapy care, people may have to rely on benefit packages, which they may have limited amounts of if they have any at all. So now, in order to receive a healthcare service that can keep you out of the emergency room, prevent you from having to take too many medications, and overall improve your quality of life, you have to pay out of your own pocket. It can be a bit of a taboo subject with physiotherapy, which is kind of why I'm making this video in the first place. People often don't have access to benefits through their healthcare coverage or their workplace, which can make getting to physiotherapy services and affording them really, really difficult. If money is already a barrier, and let's be honest, money is always a part of the decision-making process, this can make people less likely to seek out rehab professionals like physiotherapists. This can make the system feel a little bit too much like privatized healthcare for my liking, where access to a health service that can be really helpful for people is available primarily to those of a higher socioeconomic status. This unfortunately doesn't sound like, no matter who they are, where they live, or what they have, it sounds like a system that can work really well for you if you live in the right place, have the right occupation, and have enough disposable income to afford the services that you would like to access. My goal with today's video, unfortunately, is not to provide answers. It's primarily to whine because I'm better at that. My goal is to voice and bring awareness to an issue that I don't think there's often enough discussion or awareness about. Hopefully this can stimulate some discussion and we can get some creative solutions from there. To answer the question I led this video with, shouldn't everyone have access to physiotherapy care? I believe the answer to be yes. Do they though? Not so much. What do you think? Should everyone have access? Do you have any ideas for how to make physiotherapy more accessible? Meet me in the comments section and let me know what you think. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting that thumbs up button or subscribing to the channel to get updates when I release new videos. Either way supports my channel and I very much appreciate your guys' support. Most importantly though guys, as always, move your body, have a laugh today, and I will see you at the next video.